going today, guys? It is Nick again here for another YouTube video. I hope you guys are enjoying my videos so far. It's been very enjoyable posting different videos on different data analytics topics and concepts across different tools from Excel, Google Sheets, Power BI, Google Looker Studio, and Tableau, in addition to IBM Cognos. So we're really starting to get a bit of a feel here for all the different tasks that you can, ways that you can automate different tasks. But I very much do plan to keep building here and really getting into this. So over the next little while. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it. If there's something you would like to see, feel free to post down in the comment section. So today here, I've got Nellie's plant business. So basically, this is the same data set as what we used for the macro automation that we did on Excel last video. So today, basically, what we're going to do is we are going to go through a couple of functions here. So, what the main key function that I want to go on today is I want to touch on the Google Finance function. Now, this is one of the really key benefits here in Google Sheets. And the way it works is you go equals Google Finance. So, the way it works is you can go from different currencies. So if you've got Australian dollars in your spreadsheet, you can uh, get the spot exchange rate price or price for Singaporean dollars, Japanese yen, or US dollars or USD, which is quite good because if you're trading with another company, you can, say you've got a manufacturer or supplier in another nation, you can monitor based on your revenue that you're making for that particular month, what that is doing relative to the price of their currency and what sort of percentage you want to use out of your revenue to restock and buy more products if you're an inventory-based business. So basically here we go, what we're going to do is we're going to go from Australian dollars to Singaporean dollars. So we're going equals Google Finance. We're going to go open parentheses, and then we're going to go inverted commas, currency, and then we're going to go uh, there with a colon, and then we're going to go AUD because we're going from Australian dollars into SGD, which is Singaporean dollars. We then go inverted commas again, we close parentheses, we go space, and we go multiplied by, and we're going to go here for D2 in this data set. We hit enter. Okay, and we have there that 205 Australian dollars equals 178.93 Singaporean dollars at the current spot price of the current market price of Singaporean dollars. So I can then just go and drag this down and I can just sort of see, okay, cool. So, um, you know, Thomas Jones or Tom Jones's flowers that he purchased, $64 Australian, and that is $55.86 Singaporean dollars. Okay. So this is quite a good tool to do. Um, Also, if you're traveling internationally and you have, say, you have like a couple of friends that you're traveling with, um, and what we can do here is we just change this. So it's the same formula. We just go JPY here, and we get 18,000 Japanese yen. We go down. Okay, cool. So basically, yeah, if you're going overseas and you with a group of friends on holidays and you have to sort of, let's say, for example, you're in Japan and you're meeting up with some friends from the UK and you're meeting up with some friends from the US, and you're looking to sort of split some of the bills and you're not too sure. You can kind of keep a bit of a spreadsheet, and then like this with all the Australian dollars or the Japanese yen that you've sort of spent your time over there, convert it back into Australian dollars on Google Sheets, and from there you can then convert what you spent in Australian dollars into USD and um, into British pound for your friends to then pay you back. So it's not a bad way to sort of work out a bit of a bill splitting when you're traveling with friends as well. So definitely look into that. Um, I used it when I went to Bali with my wife and her family, who are Singaporean. So we had three currencies. We had obviously Australian dollars, we had Singaporean dollars, because that was their currency, and there was also Balinese dollars. So by using this, what it does is it just allows you to it just allows you to sort of pay everyone back fairly and sort of keep track of that because some people are a little bit more um, budget conscious than others. And for us, that was a really good way of monitoring it to make sure, no one was underpaid throughout the trip. So um, into sort of more of a business format. Other forms that you might use this for is if you're into, forex trading or foreign exchange trading, then you can find a portion of the funds in your business and then sort of have that market rate popping up every day, so you can sort of have a bit of a look at the price and um, sort of go, okay, well, yeah, I feel like putting in this percentage of revenue out of my business into this particular currency today. So, I can make a little bit of money. That's okay as well. All right, so last column here, we'll go into USD. Okay, so AUD to USD. So 205 Australian dollars today is, or right now, is 135 dollars and 42 cents USD. And we go down. Okay, so there we have it there. We have our formula there for currency conversion. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I want to go into a Google Translate formula here. Okay, so um, moving away from the financial, it's not a bad one too if you're dealing with a manufacturer or a supplier abroad internationally, and you have some products that you want to order, but maybe there's a language barrier at play, and you just want to make your spreadsheet a little bit more friendly for that particular person. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go insert column to the left. And here I'm going to go, let's just say that we're dealing with China. We're dealing with China here. So if we're dealing with China, we would go um, equals, and we want them to be able to read the type of pot plant purchased. In this case, you wouldn't do it with a pot plant business, but let's say if it was clothes or another form of um, inventory, watches, whatever it is, and you were sort of there were certain sort of products that you wanted them to produce for you, you could do this and they would understand what it is. So you could go here equals Google Translate, and just want to say before we put this in, I haven't quality controlled this yet because I can't speak Mandarin. So um, yeah, make sure you get somebody who can speak Mandarin to check this first and just make sure that it does make sense, because I would hate for anybody to put this in and then get the wrong order and be a bit disappointed with that shipment due to a bit of a technical glitch here. So at the very least, just check it yourself in the main Google Translate tool to ensure that it's correct. Okay, so here basically the ZH and to the TW means China. We have cactus here because it's a type of pot plant, and then it's EN English in Chinese, okay, that we want to do. So we do that, we close parentheses and we hit enter. Okay, and we can see here we got cactus in Chinese. So um, what I want what you want to do next is I'm just going to drag this down. I'm just going to change the names, because if you go to just say B2 instead of cactus, it doesn't work, unfortunately. So you have to go in manually each time and, just change that to flowers, fiddle leaf fig. And, sort of just get an pothos or whatever it's called. Sorry, I'm not really a plant connoisseur here. I'm still very much learning about plants and time. Um, the housing crisis in Australia, I don't have the luxury of having a beautiful sort of backyard that I can sort of water some lovely pot plants. But I do have a lovely balcony where I have the opportunity to, you know, have a few little pot plants out there if I choose to. So, okay, we've got a snake plant here. Okay, we're putting that into Chinese and then aloe vera. So this would probably, I'd only recommend this with a smaller data set, guys. I wouldn't do it with a bigger data set. I'm just doing it a few times here manually just so everyone sort of gets the idea of how it works. Okay. All right. So there you go. So pot plant, Chinese. Okay. And basically that gives you an idea there of how that works. All right. So next one I'm going to move on to is I'm going to move on to some other functions now, just to sort of build out the spreadsheet a little bit more. This is a pretty good tutorial today just to sort of get familiar with Google Sheets and sort of see some of the really powerful benefits that Sheets have. Some are the same as Excel, some are a bit different, like our Google Finance formula and our Google Translate formulas there. Uh, but what I want to do now is I want to come in here and I'm going to split these names up, okay? So I'm going to do an index split here to split up these names. So we want Louis Foster Smith's first name to start off with. So I would go index equals index, and then we want to split. Okay, so index split, and then I'm going to go A2 because that is where Huey Foster Smith's name is. I'm going to go comma, I'm going to go here, and then we're going to go here for inverted commas, and we're going to go close parentheses, comma, followed by a space and one. Okay, so as you can see here, it comes up with Huey. We hit enter. We get a nice autofill here. We hit the green tick, and bang, it's there. Okay, so now we're going to put up the top here. We're going to go first name. So this is a really good trick here. Like, let's just say if you're an admin or, working some form of customer relationship officer or manager-based role, and you had to put in some client data um, and manually in Excel, and then you had to let you say the data was exported out, and you had full names here, and you wanted to split them up. Instead of, if you've got like 50 or 100 names, instead of having to do this manually, if you know those formulas, you just auto populate it out and it's good to go. So it's the real powerful, the power that Excel has as a tool is learn the formulas to automate tasks that then free up time in your schedule to become a higher performer within the workplace. So here we're going to go last name. Right, and we are going to go here and we're just going to do the same formula here. And I'm just going to change it because, that's just what we do here. We like to change things up a little bit. So we want to change that to A2 because it's A2 that's still being analyzed. Okay, we can see Foster Smith's come up. That's Huey's last name. We click it. Beautiful. Okay, so there we can see Huey Foster Smith. We have Huey's first name and we have Huey's last name there. We know that he purchased a cactus. We have cactus in Chinese. He purchased 10 of them for $205 each. And the total amount paid in Singaporean dollars, yen, total amount paid in USD at that time. Okay, so we have covered across multiple different currencies there. Now, to get really interesting here, I'm going to go through a concatenate function next. So, excuse me, another data analyst function here. So what this is when we want to go Huey Foster Smith and add it together. So maybe you get the data set and you have to have a customer name like this. It comes out like this with first and last name. Okay, how do we do it? So you would use go full name here. You would use a concatenate function. So basically for concatenate here, we will go equals concatenate. Okay, and we've got string 1 and string 2. So in this instance here, we have B2, string 1. So B2, inverted comma, and we go inverted comma again, and then we go C2. There we go, Huey Foster Smith. Bang. Yep, we're happy with that. There. Harry Roberts is there. Beautiful. Okay, so that's how you would do it there with a concatenate function. Um, Next, well, I'll just touch on a few more functions just before we go here for people who are still listening on who enjoy this type of work. So next, we're going to go through a sum if. So, okay, if I want to do a sum if here for a cactus, for example, so I want the total value of cactus in this particular data set. Okay, so let's just say I got cactus here. So cactus, and then I want to go equals sum if. So second one down, sum if, and the range that I'm looking at here for this particular go like that. Criterion is cactus, then the sum range is H. There we go. Okay, so 240, and you want to put this into accounting. There we go. So 240 there for the cactus. Okay. Um, Next, we want to do a VLOOKUP. So we're going to do a VLOOKUP for Harry Roberts next. All right, so Harry Roberts. Okay, and what we're going to do here is we're going to go equals VLOOKUP. So it's a vertical lookup. Okay, what are we searching? We're searching Harry Roberts in the range. So we're going to search Harry Roberts in this particular range here. I'll highlight this. Okay, and then 2, and we go false for an exact match. Okay, so pothos was the type of plant that Harry Roberts purchased there. If we want to check that out, we can see it right there. Okay, so these same principles and concepts here are exactly the same when you're working with a massive data set with, 3,000 rows versus, 10 rows here. Just doing it with a smaller data set so everyone can sort of get a bit of an idea over how it all works. But I will make some videos in the future that go into this with a little bit more detail. Lookup, we are going to search for Trish, and the lookup range here is we are going to go for here for D, and we are going to go here for E. Little leaf fig. There we go. So those are the 3 different calculations there today. That's a sum if, a VLOOKUP, and an XLOOKUP, all in Google Sheets there, in addition to Google Finance currency converter formula, in addition to Google Translate. If you have any questions at all there, post in the comments and questions down below. If you have any videos that you'd like me to do in the future, please let me know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for listening in tonight, guys, and take care. Good night.